A lot of people are talking about Vice President-elect Mike Pence's visit to see the Broadway show Hamilton over the weekend.
We are the diverse America who are alarmed and anxious that your new administration will not protect us, our planet, our children, our parents, or defend us and uphold our inalienable rights, sir.
So what you're seeing here is this is after the show. The actor Brandon Victor Dixon, who plays Aaron Burr, the nation's third vice president, said the cast hoped their show inspired Pence to uphold American values and to work on behalf of everyone. So you can see that's kind of after the show ended. They took that opportunity to share a couple of sentences with the vice president-elect.
No surprise it was controversial. When Mike Pence arrived at the show, some of the audience booed him, and then to have this at the end of the show, Donald Trump, the president-elect, responded afterwards with a tweet saying the cast and producers of Hamilton, which I hear is highly overrated, should immediately apologize to Mike Pence for their terrible behavior. As for Mike Pence himself, he stood there, listened to what the actor had to say, and then had this to say on Face the Nation.
I wasn't offended by what was said. I'll leave to others whether it was the appropriate venue to say it. But I want to assure people who were disappointed in the election results, people who are feeling anxious about this time in the life of our nation, that President-elect Donald Trump meant exactly what he said on election night, that he is going to be the president of all the people of the United States of America.
I think we can begin by saying perhaps President-elect Trump could have said something similar in his tweet instead of... I mean, that's a pretty great response from Vice President-elect Mike Pence, who says, hey, you know, people say what they want to say.
I think that was the perfect response to that, because he did. He addressed their concerns, and I think President-elect Donald Trump missed a really good opportunity here to do the exact same thing. You know, on his Twitter account, it's a venue that he has to speak to so many people across the country and across the world. He could have reassured people instead of saying they needed an apology, which I don't think I agree with. I think it was just a message to an elected official.
Allie, I think there are people, though, who feel like this was kind of singling out one audience member at a theatrical production and feel it's inappropriate.
Yeah, I think when you look at Mike Pence, he attended this with his daughter and some of his other family members, and you think about, okay, the next time he goes to another entertainment venue, is he going to get called out again? Obviously, this was more of a political show, so it does make sense, but I think it's about knowing your audience. And this time, the audience is in New York City and Manhattan, and a lot of those tickets cost $800. So he is going to get booed at a place like that when you look at the demographics of who voted for Pence and Trump and who voted for Clinton and Kaine.
New York City theater goers more likely to perhaps be Clinton supporters. What do you think, Matt? Is Donald Trump right or wrong here?
I think he's wrong. That was the second tweet that he said about the event. He also said that cast members harassed Vice President-elect Pence.
Not at all. Absolutely
It's not harassment. Yeah, and he's just stirring the pot. I thought it was a very reasoned response from Pence. And also, this, I think, is totally an appropriate venue. How often...
Inappropriate, you're saying, yes.
Yes,
just want to be clear, right?
not
inappropriate.
It's an appropriate venue to do this, because how often are people going to get a face-to-face meeting with someone as powerful as the vice president, and after such a divisive campaign, to be able to express those concerns and be representative to large groups of people who feel disenfranchised? I feel like not only is that appropriate, but I feel like that's important to do.
I worry that it is a turnoff to people who might be conservative, that they would feel unwelcome at the theater. Well, so if you go to a theatrical production like Hamilton, which certainly is a rare circumstance, right? This is about the presidency. It's an inherently political show.
They were very involved in the election as well.
Right, but if you are going to say at the end of our show, we're going to come out and give a statement that we spent all day writing, the producers wrote, and that this is a direct message to the vice president, I understand why some people are upset.
Well, and I think
the best response is to speak out. More speech. More speech is the best way to deal with speech you disagree with,
well,
I think.
A lot of people can't even afford to go to Hamilton, so let's make that clear. It's a very expensive show to go to. And when you think about most of the people who did vote for Trump and Pence, when you look at where those people live, a good majority of them are probably not going to travel to New York to go see Hamilton.